Welcome to China Marketing Show. In this show, you're going to learn everything about doing business in China and doing marketing in China to get a great result. My name is Kiawi Wang. I'm the head of GMV. GMV is a video marketing studio here in Shanghai. And in this episode, we're going to talk about a few topics for small to medium-sized businesses to market their products and services here in China, especially for this year. And today, I'm very delighted to have two guests joining us. First, we have Alberto Antinaxi. Alberto is a serial entrepreneur, a digital strategist, and a China business expert. He has been a senior business consultant for the Chinese market for more than 30 years. Alberto is also a business course instructor at H International College in Italy. He was also one of the keynote speakers at IFA in Berlin and StartCon in Sydney. Alberto is joining us in Venice, Italy. And the second guest joining us is Olivier Verot. Olivier is the head of GMA, and GMA is the top digital marketing agencies in Shanghai. And Olivier and his firm have launched more than 700 marketing campaigns in Chinese and help big brands and small brands from all over the world, from many different industries, to build strong brands in China. And Olivier is joining us from Lyon, France. Welcome, gentlemen. I'm going to start with you, Alberto. Now, China has a very different business environment from the rest of the world. So why would any business want to market their products and services in China?
Oh, that's a very good question. Thank you for asking. Well, first of all, there are a few facts that we need to consider about China. China is one country, which is very large, but at the same time, it has very differences depending on the provinces, okay? But the whole country together has several advantages, which means they speak all the same language and they are all under the same rules. So if you consider this and 1.4 billion people together who have been educated for the last 10 years to use their mobile phone as their interface to commerce, then there is only one possible answer to it. You need to be ready for China. Chinese are looking for your products and your services, and they will look for them through their digital device. So China is a very big and potential market for anybody, no matter what. And let me add you this. In case you are not planning to enter China, you better be ready for the Chinese that will come to your door and knock and say, hey, hello, I know your products, I'd like to know more about them, and eventually buy them. So if you're not ready for China, then you're wasting a very important opportunity.
Olivier, so you and the GMA team in Shanghai have been looking at the business situation in China very closely. Now tell us, what impact did the crisis have on the Chinese market this year?
So China have been hurt, but I think the good point of Chinese people, it's like they can adapt very, very, very fast, and all the business adapt very, very fast. So once all the offline business have been cut down, we have seen in China a big booming of the online business. When people cannot buy in the shop, they will buy it online, basically. When the people cannot study in their school, they will study online. When the people cannot go to the cinema or like doing entertainment, they will watch a movie online. So they adapt their life to the online system, and all the economy plug to that. So we have seen China hyper digitalization of the society, and all the internet companies have been booming during this time. Where in Europe, where I am right now, it's not this case. It's very limited, the impact of the online in this business. Everything is locked down, but the company doesn't adapt as well as I see.
Now the Chinese economy has gone almost fully online. So what opportunities can you see for small to medium-sized businesses?
During this crisis, there is a lot of brands, a lot of companies have been closed. There is a lot of market have been hit very, very, very hard. So there is less competition than before. Number one, all the price of the ads and everything decrease. So I think for me, it's a very good opportunity to develop your business when all the market is crashing down. So all the big companies who are well set up or something like this suffer a lot. But when you are small and you start in time of crisis, you don't feel this kind of like terrible hurt. Number one, because you are small, you are flexible, and you are online. You are online when all the other need to adapt. Huge company, for other people to move them to the online one, that is extremely difficult. So as a small and medium business in China, I think it's a good time.
Wow, Olivier, you know what? That's really insightful. Now, what business are you in? Right? When I talk to business owners, a lot of them will tell you that what their concern is that they just don't know anything about China, right? And they don't know where to start. So, what is stopping you from doing marketing in China? So, leave a comment here, and I would really like to hear about your thoughts. And also, if you find this episode is giving you value, please give us a like, subscribe, and share this video and turn on the notification so that you don't miss a learning opportunities. Now, moving on to question number 4. Now, Roberto, you've been helping companies from startups to Fortune 500 businesses in the US and in Europe enter their market in Asia and in China for more than 3 decades now. And that's because of your deep understanding of the cultural dynamics and the customers' behaviors in China. You're able to help all the businesses to make a better marketing approach and to avoid costly mistakes because of your insights. Right? So tell us why customers in China are different from the rest of the world.
In China, it's very important to understand, but it's not like in the West. In the West, I got my mother tells me, "Hey, Alberto, go and buy these products," and he gives me the name of a detergent for clothes. Okay, and I go and buy that product, and since then I would keep on buying that product because my mother said, "But it's one touch point." Okay, so it's very reliable. If a friend tells me, "Oh, you should buy that mobile phone because it's good," okay, and then another one I see that he has the same mobile phone, then there are 2 touch points, 2, 3, 4 touch points for the Westerners are more than enough to consider a product a valid source of reliability. Okay, Chinese they receive so many information every day that they need to have many, many more touch points before they can choose for products, which means that they may have been repeated and seen on different social platforms for at least 10, 12 different times. So you got to have it on Baidu, you got to have it on Weibo, you got to have people talking about it on several groups on WeChat, you got to have it on Xiaohongshu, you got to see that and the same brand and the message in Douyin, rather than Kuaishou. It's a more complicated and organized differently society. And this is where you need to be able to spread the message through different platforms, but start today, because it takes time, propagation time. Sometimes it's not so easy. It takes time to be seen. It takes time to give out your message and tell people who you are and what you do.
Now, Olivier, what marketing approach do you advise your clients to take to get a good result here in China, especially for this year?
Today, it's online first. That's the first things. So all the strategy, all the consumer behavior, all the sales need to be considered online. It was true in the past, but maybe 50-50 or I don't know, 60-40 depend on the market. But for now, brands, companies, business have to think 100% online in China. 100%. So that's basically just these details matter. So you don't need to think about the offline distributors. You don't need to think about the offline sales. You don't need to think about the restaurant. You don't think at this moment, most of the business are online. So every business, everything have moved to basically to online. So whatever you want to sell, you need to think online first, and offline will be, I don't know, for the next 6 months. So today, if any action plan need to work, they need to think of online first. Other thing that the brand need also to think is the emerging of this new social media channel, like Douyin, like Kuaishou, like all these online videos that is basically increasing. So there is more users, people spend more times. So basically the cost of marketing and promotion is lower. So that's basically like all the brand need to adapt to the new media, to the media with more people, less competition. So basically like better ROI. That would be my advice for the plan. Yeah.
Now, Olivia, that you and your team have been helping big brands and also small businesses to find B2C and B2B customers in China. Now, a lot of businesses in the West, they don't know anything about China. They don't know the culture and they don't speak the language. So how expensive it is to invest in building a profitable foreign brand in China?
It really depends on your target, because if you target big, of course you need to invest big in China. That's a matter of like how much you can invest and how much you can basically like get it back. But the real question is about the timing, because for us, we are working with a lot of companies and we see that there is a time for adapt. It's not a matter of language, it's not a matter of culture, it's a matter of like how I understand my target and how I adapt my company, my business, and a little bit my product to the Chinese consumer. So this usually takes a little bit time. So we advise usually our customer to start with a small business, to work on something concrete that they can have, like their reputation or their branding, step by step. And after, when they are ready, when the customer like their product, when they have the good feedback, when they have the good word of mouth, when they are ready, then they can basically scale and invest more money to increase basically their business. But do not invest everything at the beginning. Takes time, step by step. And when the company is ready, when the brands feel tractions, when there are more and more people asking questions, asking about discounts, more followers, then it means they are ready to basically to put advertising and to go to the next level.
Wow, so that means building an online reputation is very important when it comes to doing marketing in China. So if you want to learn more about building an online reputation, what we call often is the e-reputation in China. So click here. We have a really good videos for you to learn more about this topic. Now let's moving on to the next question. So Alberto, I heard that in China, there are a lot of local brands. Local brands are very, very competitive, right? So my question is that can a small foreign brand